Hey there, it's Melissa with Atlas CFO, and today we're talking about the WIP. You know I love the WIP, and today we're going to be talking about some hidden costs if you have an inaccurate WIP. Let's get started. So what typically happens for our contractors is they start on the cash basis. You're small, you're just getting started, and you're on the cash basis. You don't even worry about the WIP. Then as you grow, somebody says to you, you really need to be on the accrual method, which is known as the percent complete method for contractors. This then starts the process of having to build a WIP. But because it's relatively new or you haven't done it for long periods of time, like, oh gosh, almost 30 years, hurts my feelings, then you've got a lot of complexity, a lot of questions, you've got a lot of things that you're worried about. Well, today we're going to talk about some things that you can watch out for, some good hints that will help you make sure that whenever you do the WIP that you've got more confidence. So the WIP basics. It's a big spreadsheet, but there's actually only 4 inputs. The contract, the estimated cost, job to date cost, job billing to date. That's it. The rest of the entire spreadsheet is math. So if you can get these 4 inputs right, the rest of it is going to work. If these 4 inputs are wrong, guess what? Your WIP is wrong. You've got to focus on these 4 and make sure that you get them right every single month. So I'm going to talk about some of the biggest problems that we see on the WIP to help you understand what you can do to make sure that yours is correct. Number 1, because it's the hardest, is that there are inaccurate contract or estimated cost columns. So remember, there's only 4 columns. These first 2 are how you think the job is going to end. If they're incorrect, throws off the whole WIP, throws off the whole calculation, and throws off your financial statements. What you're looking for is something that is inaccurate, not updated, incomplete, missing change orders, missing an expected cost overrun. Dang, we thought we were going to, only have $50,000 in cost, but because of the weather and the problems, we think it's going to be more like 65. Those need to be updated on your WIP as soon as you know about them. Sometimes people will say, well, when is the right time to put a change order in? Oh, well, it's not an exact science, but you want to put a change order into your contract and estimated costs whenever you can reasonably estimate it and that you're reasonably sure that you're going to get it. Yes, it is subjective, and so you're using your best information. Sometimes we'll have the cost already incurred, and then it's not in your contract, and so what that is going to do is pull down your gross profit. If I had to give any advice here, I'd say keep it the same. So if you've incurred the cost, go ahead and put the change order in so you keep the job running the same, unless, of course, you had the cost and you're not going to get paid for it. Well, then that sucks. But that one you won't get a change order for, so you wouldn't be putting it in. Hope that makes sense. Next, cutoff. Okay, you have to be done with the month before you can do the WIP. So if you keep back posting into a prior month and changing your billings and changing your costs and, oh, we got another invoice, change it again, you're going to create inconsistency in your WIP reporting, inconsistency in your financial statements, and it's going to create a lot of confusion. You have to have an end of the month so that you can proceed with month-end close. Number 3, jobs that are over 100% complete or jobs that are over 100% billed. We can't have a job that's over 100% complete. Every so often you will have an exception to this rule, but for the most part, that means that your estimated cost is not high enough. You can't be more than 100% complete, so that means you've gone over your estimated cost, and that would need to be updated. The same is true for the contract and the billing. If we billed more than the contract, then we need to make sure that that's updated to the true billing amount, to the true contract. The biggest danger here is if we let a job go over 100% complete on our WIP, it will create false profits on our financial statements. So we don't want to do that. Also, it just shows kind of like bad form to have a job that's over 100% complete, and it's so fast to find them and go, oh, I can fix this. So always be on the lookout for it. Number 4, don't worry, I've only got 5. Number 4, profitability swings. What we're trying to do with the WIP is get rid of this wildness in gross profit. And if you still see some wild ups and downs in gross profit, that typically means that there is some wildness on your job performance. Usually you can fix it by fixing one of the 3 problems we've talked about, but you can also compare profitability by job by month. So if we had a job that was making 25% last month and this month it's making 10%, and then next month it goes back to making 25%, guess what your financials are going to do? Yes, they will follow that job. So you want to make sure that you retain some sort of consistency in the way that you treat profitability on jobs, and make sure you don't go up, down, up, down, up, down. Another trick on this one is to make sure that you didn't have job cost, more common than job billing, but a job cost that didn't get coded to a job. This is really hard to do in our construction specific software, our real construction software. But if you're QuickBooks, it'll let you, so you can watch for a job cost that didn't get coded for a job. Last one, number 5, large under or over billings. So if you have large under billings, you're going to create a cash shortage. It also is an indicator that you may have some potential losses on the job. If you have over billings, you want to make sure that you have that extra money in cash and accounts receivable, meaning you truly are overbilled. Or it could point to a costing methodology problem. So you just want to watch these two under over billings and just make sure that they make sense for the job. You should be able to look at the job and say, oh yeah, we are underbilled on that job. I didn't get the billing out this month, and have it make sense, versus if you're saying to yourself, there's no way we're overbilled on that job. There's no way we're underbilled on that job. That's an indicator that something else is wrong. Having large under or over billings creates unease, not only internally, but also for our bonding friends, because they're just wondering what's happening on these jobs that we have so much that we haven't billed, or that we got so ahead of our billings. Just be on the lookout for them. Inaccuracy in your WIP causes trouble. And you can see that we've talked about some of the problems, but the ultimate goal of the WIP is that we have accurate financial statements that serve us. With inaccuracies in the WIP, we have distorted financial statements. We can't make decisions. Our bonding companies aren't real happy with us because they can't get a feel for where we're going and how our jobs are performing. And instead of planning our future, we're just doing guesswork. So I'm going to give you some top tips to help you get control of your WIP. Number 1, spend time on the contract and estimated cost. I said in the beginning, this is the toughest ones. It is the tough ones because guess what? They're estimates and it's going to change tomorrow. So you're going to have to give it your best estimate as of today whenever you're doing the WIP. Spend the time to make sure that it makes sense. You aren't over 100% complete, that your profitability makes sense to you. You're not going ups and downs and ups and downs. And that's the biggest lever is that contract and estimated cost. Number 2, make sure you have a firm cutoff, that your costs are your costs and they're not changing. Your billings are your billings and they're not changing. This will save you a ton of time and also give you more accurate WIP and financial reporting. And number 3, if you do see flex on your income statement, especially in the gross profit, go line by line on your WIP and make sure that you don't see a job doing the wave where they're winning, they're losing. You want to see very consistent performance, and so you can just compare those jobs over the course of a couple of months and make sure that they're retaining that same gross profit. If you have a change in gross profit, it happens. It happens to all of us. You just want to make sure that that is the correct change. We wrote down the job. Everybody knows it. We had that glorious change order and boosted our profits. You want to have an explanation for anything that changes drastically on gross profit for your WIP. Under 10 minutes. Thanks for spending time with me today. If you like this, you can certainly subscribe to our channel. There is a lot here. We also have a lot of resources for you on our website. You can go over to our website, check out our 7-day financial boot camp for owners. We also have a stages of a contractor quiz that will help you understand where you are in the stages of growth, and of course our offerings. Hope to see you again soon. Take care.